David Essel here with the good news of the day, and we're going to talk about relapse and recovery today. And I had a session earlier with someone who just brand new joined our permanent alcohol and recovery program, and they asked me this question. They said, David, as we work together and move forward, is there ever an excuse or a reason why you would say it's okay if you relapse because this happened or that happened? Oh my God, what a great question for someone working with me day one in our permanent alcohol and life recovery program. I was blown away. That's such an intelligent question. For the past 43 years, we've helped so many people get sober. I was helping people get sober before I got sober, as crazy as that sounds. So let's do this. Let's go to the question, is there ever a good reason or an excuse so we could say, well, because this happened, I relapsed, and I won't do it again, but it was because of this? What do you think? As a matter of fact, comment below if you'd like right now. Share these videos. I mean, we want people to know the truth about recovery. Our country is hurting so badly. Do you know from 1999 to today, there's been over 100% increase in alcohol deaths? As a matter of fact, recently, a friend of mine lost her daughter and son-in-law. They died of alcoholism, and I don't think they were past their 40s. So is there ever a good excuse? What do you think? The answer is no. The answer is no. There's never a good excuse to relapse. There's never a reason to relapse. And in our permanent alcohol and life recovery program, we teach this at the deepest level possible. Now, there's other programs that will actually say the insane statement, well, you know, relapse is part of recovery. And if relapse happens, and it happens in my program every once in a while, but it's not part of recovery, there's never a good reason to relapse. And I'll give you some examples. I worked with a client, actually it was a couple, whose son had committed suicide, hung themselves, and they came home to the garage to see their son hanging dead. One of the most horrific things a parent could ever do. They were both sober, and they stayed sober through that experience. Just 2 years ago, my mom died. A year ago, my dad died. They were in such incredible pain for a number of years. Not one time did I ever use their pain, their suffering, or their death as a reason to have a drink or to go back to cocaine or some of the other addictions. I was addicted for 30 years. I've been clean and sober a very long time, but I want to make this perfectly clear. If you're in a program that says, well, that's, you know, part of the program, you're going to relapse from time to time, that's not a program for you. It's not a program for anyone. And I have compassion for all programs, and I say, listen, there's 100 programs for recovery out there. Ours is just one. But if you're going to go into one that tells you that your addiction is not your fault, it's genetics, it's a disease, walk out the door. Who wants to know that you're an alcoholic for life? Who wants to be told that you'll never heal? You know, I remember working with a sex addict, and we have a lot of individuals addicted to porn, addicted to sex, and the individual said that they wanted to go to a meeting, a Sex Addicts Anonymous meeting, and I said, fine. You know, when you go, and I taught them how I teach all my clients, if they want to attend meetings, how to attend them in a sane way. And he went in, and there was a minister leading it, and the minister stood up in front of the meeting and said these words, which made my skin crawl. I'm a sex addict now, I was a sex addict before, and I'll be a sex addict for the rest of my life. Who wants to be involved in a program that tells you that if you're an addict, you're an addict for life? That if you're an alcoholic, you're an alcoholic for life? Those are excuses for relapse. I mean, if I was going to buy into that nonsense that I was an alcoholic for life, I would use that every time to excuse myself for relapses. I haven't relapsed. I will never relapse. I know that for sure. If I can get through my mom and dad's death, a horrendous 4-year extended death, without ever thinking about having a drink, you can do the same. David Essel doesn't have anything over you. David Essel doesn't have one thing that you don't have to get sober. You have to have a desire, even just 10%. In our brand new book, Permanent Alcohol and Life Recovery, we say, if you only have a 10% desire to get clean, we can help you. Our program works. You don't have to want to get sober. I write this in the book. In 43 years, I've never had someone enter my recovery program and say, I am so glad to be here. I've been wanting to get sober for years, and I'm excited to work with you, David. Not once have I ever received that. So Look at what you're into. Look at the programs, the books, the people you're talking to. If they're saying relapse is part of recovery, walk away. If they're telling you that it's not your fault, it's a disease, it's your genetics, walk away. I have very strong opinions on this because I've been in this field for a very long time. I went to 120 straight meetings in a row to see what that program was all about when I got out of the treatment center years ago. And I realized while they have good intentions, they have a 90% failure rate. We have treatment center owners endorsing our program. We have treatment center owners endorsing our book. We have all of these support. Why? Because we've created an outrageously logical, easy to follow format. We give you all the tools, 1,000 different tools to make sure that you can stay sober and recovered for life. Comment below, please share these videos and join us at talkdavid.com. We've got the program set up. We have the time for you. I am committed to your recovery 110%. You don't have to be. I will be for you. And you know what's going to happen? After a short period of time, you're going to be convinced of what I'm saying right now today. So join me at talkdavid.com. Let's move this mountain of addiction in the world of alcoholism. Let's move it out of the way and go into a logical approach to sobriety and recovery. I'm David Essel. I'll look forward to seeing you soon.